Well, welcome to the Paper Straw podcast, guys, and
We're
I'm
back to
welcomed
being a
as
three.
always with Chris and Christian. What'd you say?
We're back to being a trio.
Yeah, we got the whole gang back, the whole
Yeah.
crew back. What are we talking about again? We talking about Linus and his disastrous empire right now.
Yeah. Is it a fall from grace?
We recorded a podcast on Tuesday, and I mean in that we're Monday. I don't know, but these days have
Two
been blurring
days
together.
ago.
But uh, yeah, I mean in that time, so much has changed. I mean, Madison came out. What else? I mean, the voice recording resurfaced of the meeting. Emily spoke out. Several other ex-employees spoke out. Taryn, the CEO, is now talking to The Verge and making statements. Not looking too good over there at old
Yeah.
LMG. Not
Just to
looking too
just
good.
for a recap, what happened was like Gamers Nexus came out with, like I said,
Yeah.
with a video regarding all of the issues that Linus Media Group has been having with its videos. Following which, Linus made a post in their forums that it was pretty poorly received by everyone because it felt out of touch, it felt disingenuous, it felt obnoxious.
And per usual, he was kind of taking the victim's way out, essentially, like, oh, boohoo, and kind of leaning on his I don't know, leaning on his wounds, essentially, like licking his wounds, right? Like, boohoo, people are attacking me. Like, it's not about attacking you. It's not about it's not personal. It's not personal. It's about literal media ethics, something you learn about in college. You're supposed to know this shit, especially if you're going to get into the game with journalism, any content creation. Like, you should probably know how best to review something. And I get they're tailored to an entertainment. It's entertainment, right? Obviously, but I think some ordinary gamers said it best. Like, you're talking about tech, and really you're influencing people's uh buying schemes. Like, if you're influencing how people use their
Mm.
money, it's more so infotainment. And I like that. I like how
Mm.
he framed it that way. Like, sure, Linus, we can all call Linus entertainment, but he still has to be informative, you know with his content, right? I mean, if he's gonna review something, he can't just be funny and oh, plug sponsors and shit.
Yeah, and following what happened, Gamers Nexus actually posted immediately a video pointing out issues when it comes to Linus's response in the forums. While all of this is happening, there are also allegations regarding misconduct coming from Madison Reeve, a former employee for Linus Media Group. She was actually, I first caught wind of her. Like, I never actually knew she was an actual employee. Like, I was just familiar with her by being a guest in one of the videos with a ROG rig reboot contest. So yeah,
I remembered
she
her
was
getting
the
hired, and then she just like never showed up in content.
she
She
never
I
showed
think
up.
she showed up in like one video.
I think that
Um,
just that one video,
yeah,
right? She was
or I mean, obviously she
basically,
was in the initial video, right? But she was in some other video after that, after being hired.
I haven't
She
watched
was
the
spotted
other
in some
video,
random video, but yeah.
but she was a social media manager for Linus Media Group, and she made a couple of allegations regarding the work environment, regarding sexual allegations, regarding remarks from her former employees, and now
I
it
think the
turns
the
out
best way to describe it is, right, frat bro culture, like a tech bro culture.
Is this a byproduct of rapid growth, you think?
I think so.
Like like they got bigger than like they it's
One
kind of
one
like
thing I had mentioned last week, or last episode, was rapid hiring. Specifically, not necessarily for the allegations, the misconduct and stuff, but more so just their mishandling of content and just like mistakes and all that. I think that has a lot to do with just a massive hiring spree. Like, you're bringing all these new talent and stuff, and stuff's gonna happen. It's just gonna happen. But yeah, I mean, yeah, I think he has several videos up about his rapid growth. I think there's a video up about how, like, oh, why do I have 80 employees or something? I think there's literally a
Yeah.
video about that.
Well, I mean, you can imagine, man, like that shit gets probably, I would imagine anyway, overwhelming, and it almost becomes like its own, like like its own thing, right? Like you kind of lose control. Like you have people telling you like, hey, you gotta hire, and you gotta now you need this department, now you need this department, now you gotta do this, now you gotta do this, and we need you here. So I mean, if you don't scale, that's the word I was looking for. If you don't scale at a practical rate,
Yeah.
then the shit like this happens. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm reading here where like they've made some mistakes on testing that
Yeah.
it's small things like attention to detail type shit. And like the
Now,
auctioning of
now we're
that
at the
one thing.
point. Yeah, the Billet Labs. Yeah.
Yeah. And it was like that was a miscommunication. Like that's
Yeah, that's the thing. They released a video like it's everyone knows that that video was actually monetized at that time, but they took down the monetization for it after all the criticism. That video is shitty in every part because it added humor to a situation that didn't actually need it. Like they did everything to the point where they mentioned merchandising. They like why even do it that way? If you want people to take you seriously, just center around the current issues that you have. You don't have to make everything like an infomercial. Even your apology video felt like one of your skits. They
Yeah,
made
I
an
mean,
issue.
the apology video is just so in bad taste. Yeah. I mean,
and
I forget his name, but the guy who's
and during
shilling
that
the
video, it was revealed who was actually at fault with regards to that billet lab thing. And it's surprising to me that he's still there. Like that's not some small issue. Like
yeah.
he basically mentioned we fucked up in this, but you might be losing a couple of thousands of dollars on your end. But these people basically lost their dream.
Yeah,
Like
well,
this was a
and a lot of
prototype.
money. They lost out on a lot of money. I mean, they even didn't censor the price of the product or the prototype.
Who was it that was responsible for it? Oh, it's Colton, right?
Colton, yes.
Yeah, the one that
Which ironically the one they joke about firing all the time.
yeah, the one that they actually joke about having more houses than Linus.
What?
Yeah, like these people are rich beyond being in touch with reality on how much damage they actually caused.
I didn't. Wow. Damn.
So they've done that video in poor taste. And I hope they're not surprised with the amount of hate that they're actually getting right now because it's only right after it. This is the first time we've actually seen their CEO address anything.
so are they going to, you think they'll be able to bounce back or rebrand? Like what's going to happen? People step down.
I mean, I think it all comes down to the SA stuff. They have, I think they have an internal investigation ongoing currently, right? I think that's what Taryn said, and I don't doubt that he'll probably step down. He might step down. I mean, might.
It,
Um,
he
I
just
don't
got
know.
into office.
Maybe Linus leaves. I don't even know, man. I don't think personally. I do not think there's a way for them to bounce back. I mean, just look at how many people they've lost on Float Plane. Look at how many people they've already lost just on the YouTube channel. I think they lost a substantial amount of subscribers, like at least 1,000 or 100,000 subscribers, something like that. I don't know. I mean, it's vastly, you know, disparate, very different numbers, but they've lost a shit ton of subscribers just across the board, Float Plane and YouTube. And it just looks bad. It just looks bad overall. I mean, I think even Anchor, I think Anchor pulled them off of their like sponsorship site, like some sites have, oh,
Yeah.
we're recommended by these people. They pulled Linus off their page. Yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna have to
I mean,
check
like,
back with Rebrand before if they still
yeah,
sponsor
yeah.
Linus.
Hey, I mean, at least
Even through
Brand's
this.
like in your corner, right? At least Brand's in your corner. Fucking assholes. That really pissed me off, dude. That really pissed me off. Like snarky, smirky, like I don't know, man. It's just so slimy the way she said that. It's just like yuck, man. Like,
Like you may
do you
hate us,
not
but
have
we
do you not
still
have
have
like a
money.
did no one watch that
Basically,
video
that's
and
it.
go, wow, maybe we shouldn't fucking say that? You know, maybe we I don't know, it's just crazy. It's like they actually hit send on that. Like it just blows my mind.
Do they not have anyone for PR that could have advised them on this? Like
You know,
I worked on PR
Oh,
before.
maybe, maybe,
Linus
maybe,
Linus
maybe
seems like
they're
the type of person not to give a fuck.
maybe they're hiring, man.
Maybe I should apply.
Probably are.
Like,
Probably are now.
anyone who's
You know,
seen that video
I'm
wouldn't
curious
have
if
that
anyone's left.
published.
I'm curious if in what over the past week, right? Over the past week, I'm curious if any of the employees have left. If that's even, something that's possible. Like I don't know. Yikes.
They're still working for a company with a powerhouse name right now, albeit not in the good light that they would want. I doubt people would just leave just because of this. But they are going to be hiring a third party investigator if it turns out to be true regarding
Which
all the
which
allegations.
can I be honest? Which like,
It's just things people say.
it's literally just a press move, right? It's just a PR stunt because
Yeah.
in all fairness, like what are they gonna do? What's the guy gonna do? Come in and it's all gonna be hearsay. Like, what's he investigating? Is there anything recorded? Is there any substantial evidence of any of this shit? Probably not. I mean, I don't know. I mean, if there's actual video recordings of weird shit happening and I don't know, people being forward with Madison or other people, like then you might have an investigation. But I feel like overall, there's not going to be much that comes out of that investigation, at least.
And that's the thing is when it comes to Madison, there are people that are actually, which is kind of surprising for me. Like there are people that's not siding with her on this,
Well,
regardless of the current situation.
that actually isn't surprising to me because it's fucking Linus and his like gremlins. And there's a lot of those fans. I mean, even across the Reddit, you can see a lot of those fans are like still sticking with Linus. It just, it's just rabid fan base that just, it's like they're Messiah, like literally.
Yeah, like I said before we went on recording, if this was pre Amber Heard Johnny Depp thing, I think she would be getting full support. It's
Maybe,
just
yeah,
a
maybe.
different
I mean,
time right now.
I don't see. I don't know. I don't know.
Like
I feel like
there are jokes regarding Canada that they are left in the 90s right now. Even when it comes, I think it falls under the work environment because this is pretty much the work environment in the 90s. If you think about it, this is every Silicon Valley office. The way their culture, if their culture, the alleged culture that they have is actually true, this is just basically Silicon Valley in the 90s.
That's kind of the thing too. Like, you I feel like you made a good point. Like, if it's true, right? Like, I feel like these days, the trial by media, right, is you get deemed not only guilty, but it's almost like even if you're proven innocent, you're still tarnished, right? And it's kind of
yeah,
shitty for people, that's like, like maybe he's telling the truth, right? Like, holy shit, I did not realize this was happening in my company. And I can understand how that could be possible, especially if you're a 36-year-old fucking whiz kid. You know what I mean?
nah.
You don't think so?
Nope. I trust me. Like I feel like Linus knows what's going on in his company. Let's be honest, dude. Like let's be honest. Like he knows his people. He knows who he hired. There are most of them are his friends. Like just look again. This is something I said before. Linus is an asshole. Like everyone knows that. Everyone knows that. And assholes stick with assholes. I mean, a lot of those people that he hired are his friends. I mean, who was the guy you were talking about earlier, Christian? That was
Yeah,
in the
the one
meeting in the voice recording.
yeah, the leak meeting. I think
Another
how many years
dickhead,
ago was
right?
it? Was it the meeting after Madison was actually let go?
Yeah,
After she let
the
go,
guy
or
that
did
said something
she actually
about Linus
resign?
being on the table or something like that. I forget
Yeah, that was
I
a
forget the word or the
they were
phrase,
having
but
a meeting regarding HR stuff, particularly for sexual misconduct and the work environment. And after Linus gave his speech regarding guidelines that that should be set and what they should follow, someone made a remark regarding, so are you gonna stand up on that table now or something? Like it's it's in poor taste
Weird.
to actually mention that. I
It's
think
just
that
not
was
even
James.
funny. Like he was trying to be funny. It's just not even
I think
funny.
that was
Like
actually James Tribe, the one that they use as
I don't know
host.
his name. He's the head of the writing team, I believe.
Yeah, that was a dumb move to make. Whoever he is, fuck you. Seriously, it's a serious talk in a situation for you to actually make that remark. I know you're friends and all in that space, but that really undercuts the gravity of what you're discussing.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't doubt that that Linus will probably, I don't know, this will be haunting him. And it's funny, a lot of people were joking, like I bet he's kicking his, kicking his heels, like not having taken or not having taken that $100 million deal before. He was offered what $100 million for the company and he turned it down. Like
Yeah, but in my sense, like I wouldn't actually have taken that 100 million in a business
I don't
sense.
know, man.
In a business
I
sense, he's not just worth 100 million. Like even with this kind of scandal, he's worth more than that in
I
a
mean, you have
sense.
a
You
point there.
still have the
I
brand
think his
recognition,
laboratory or whatever, the computer lab that they have is itself worth $100 million, right? Not just the company, right? The company,
but you still have to bank on the company name, the valuation for it, and actually
yeah.
future prospects for the brand. 100 million is actually pretty small, really small.
Yeah, you're right. You're
Think
right.
about
I
it.
mean, how much do you think it costs now though?
Right now, with all of this, more than 100 million.
You
Oh
Even if
think?
that's happening, I
no, this
still.
is
This is me
No
actually
shot.
hating him.
There's no shot. There's absolutely no shot.
There's still like
They've
if
lost
we're
a
talking
lot of
about
brand
if you're
loyalty. I mean, just look at the videos. Like, who's gonna want to actually watch anymore?
they still
You know?
have 15 million plus subscribers at this point.
yeah,
Yeah,
but
but it's going
any
down.
type of
It's going down.
It's not going to go down that fast. And we haven't talked about this yet. What do you think is the type of recompense that actually is needed here?
I don't know.
Because no one actually everyone actually dumps on them. No one is actually thinking what kind of everyone is actually looking for Linus to make amends in this situation. No one has been very specific in what they want.
Well, I think because a lot of like this stuff with Madison and other employees corroborating what she said, I think it's escalated to a point where like I don't know. I don't think an apology video, another apology is going to help. I don't think, there is no rectifying what happened, right? I think I think the best thing to do is just to kind of, you know, get your head in front of it, talk about it, like get on video, talk about this happened. Maybe not apologize, but at least like talk about it. Say that you're going to change and maybe fire some people. I
that's
mean,
the
you got to
thing.
get rid of some of the shitty people that's in there. I mean, I think the best route of like the best course of action, Linus has to step down. Plain and
Yeah, that's
simple. I
the
mean,
thing with a lot of things like this, like regardless of if they fix the process and it becomes the perfect, the epitome of tech companies and everybody's great and nobody's feeling any type of way about harassment or cheating or miss whatever. Um, Nobody cares if a couple heads don't roll.
yep,
Like, and that's why CEOs step down.
yep,
And the CEO just got into place a month
yeah.
ago.
Yeah,
So,
well, and that's why it's a
so,
high paying job, man, because you're the
so
face
to
of
to
the
frame it
company.
for you here, Chris, Linus stepped down from his role as CEO to allow another person that he had worked under before to be CEO of the company because he essentially wanted to be in more videos. Maybe not. That's my opinion. That's my opinion. I think he wanted to be a bit more of. I mean, he even mentions it that he's more of a creative. What's his role? I forget it. He
Chief
creative something. I don't fucking know.
Chief Vision Officer. Like
Yeah,
he even
whatever.
admitted it's a bullshit
Some dumb
role.
Yeah, essentially because his ego got too big. He just wanted to be in more videos. Like, let's just be fucking real. Like, he wanted to be in more videos. He wanted to be front facing, and he wanted the limelight, and that's okay. Like, that it's his company, and that's what he wanted to do. That's fine. You know,
If he steps down, do you think it would actually benefit them? It is
no,
still
no. I
Linus
mean, I
Media
think it
Group.
would help. I think it would help, but I mean, they've already lost a ton of brand loyalty.
Like,
Again, like I said, a lot of these people that a lot of these people that left Floatplane's like their Patreon. It's like they're real fans. Like, if you're losing that many followers on your Floatplane, that's huge. That's huge. That means long term, highly regarded, people that are invested in your community have given up entirely. They're not coming back. Plain and
isn't
simple.
Upload Plane their competitor for YouTube, by the way?
All I know is that they have subscribers there and they post videos and stuff. I essentially consider it just their Patreon. It's a Patreon. It's the same thing.
For me, I think the biggest recompense I could actually make is actually making right with Billet Labs at this point.
Was that?
Doing right by Billet Labs.
I
I
think
think
that
that's
ship sailed. That ship sailed.
you think
They
so?
fucked that. Yeah, they fucked that. They fucked that. Bill Labs doesn't give a shit. They even said multiple times, listen, like, you know, uh, we don't even want the thing anymore. We don't even want that back. Like, they've already lost their money essentially on that. Like, just screw it, right? Like, they've already fucked Bill Labs. You know, why even bother continuing the process with him if clearly Linus and Co can't get right at the first time, right? Like, if it's not going to happen, if it didn't happen before and the second time and the third time, it's not going to happen. You know what I mean? It's not going to work out. So fuck that, right? If I was Bill Labs, fuck that. Like, I'd probably even sue them. Probably could. There's probably grounds to sue them.
I think there is, yeah, from what I've read.
There is grounds to sue them, but there was never any consequence for anyone that actually makes mistakes in that company.
What do you mean?
Like the heads didn't actually roll because of this. This is a
Oh
nightmare
yeah.
of an issue, and people who are concerned that actually made the mistakes are still there.
And that's the thing too. Like, even when the dust settles, right? Whether people get fired or not, LMG, Linus Tech Tips, the channels, all that, it'll never be the same. It'll never be the same, right? Even if you still have some fans coming back, the content's never going to be the same. Like, it's just not. Like, the environment's going to be very different. It's going to be awkward. It's going to be, you know what I mean? And how many? Come on, we know YouTube. How many people are going to be commenting, fucked up shit? Like, I don't know.
Yeah. Well, we can only hope this thing won't devolve any more than it has. But then again, Emily
Honestly,
actually
I kind of
made a
wanted
comment.
to. I kind of wanted to.
Want...
I want to see even more. I want more people to come out of the woodwork.
That's the thing. Like I said,
listen,
Emily.
What? Go ahead.
Emily did actually make a brief statement regarding this.
Yeah.
Like, how long has she been in the company? I think among the longest ones, right?
I have no idea. I mean, probably as long as it's been around.
Yeah, so it seems like she's a bit cryptic in her message, but it seems like there is a bit of toxicity in the environment there.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, you can kind of see it. Like, if you watch videos, I feel like again, hindsight's 2020, right?
Yeah.
All this stuff comes out, and now it's a bit easier to kind of see the bad actors, maybe, like when you're watching live streams and videos and stuff from the past. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. It's just awkward.
Just to give people context, we're talking about Emily Young, an employee in Linus Media Group, who we all know is former Anthony before her transition.
Yeah.
Came out with, was it a tweet? It's a tweet, right? So
yeah. Couple tweets. I think
basically
it's a tweet,
she's saying that in her tweet that I'm trying to stay out of everything publicly. but I'm pushing for change internally. I don't want to speak for Madison unless she wants me to, and I don't want to say anything as an LMG employee that might jeopardize the impartiality of whatever investigation happens. Does this mean that she basically know what Madison went through? Like she actually saw it
Yeah.
firsthand?
Well, I don't want to
Yeah.
just, I don't know. I don't know for sure. But maybe, probably, most likely.
Mm.
So, Chris, in your sense, if this was any other company, what type of recompense would you think is needed to actually fix this situation?
I mean, you can look at, companies that's gone through similar things, and it's very difficult for them to bounce back. Like, I mean, just look at, it's that's kind of like, social media and the information era that we're in right now. It's a double-edged sword, right? Like they've gotten incredibly rich from the internet, basically technology, right? And now, had this been 20, 25 years ago, this would have been a newspaper article maybe a couple times, and that would have been it. But now it's going to live forever, and it's going to be nearly impossible if they don't change. I mean, I don't even know what you can change. Like just like the whole idea of like something blowing over, that doesn't happen anymore. Or like they used to say, I think in politics, like you get 3 good news cycles. You get like morning,
Yeah,
afternoon, evening, and then they're on to the next. This shit here is going to stick around, especially for these guys. It's going to be like a stench. If they don't, they'll have to go. I imagine they go dark. They become silent partners and some other thing if that's what they want to continue doing. But I think this guy's face in videos, he could
which is
it does
pretty
he could
much,
he
which
could
is pretty
be
much all of them.
he could be hawking a cure for cancer and people's gonna be like, fuck that shit. You know what I mean? Not everybody, of course, but a lot of people now, it's just he's tainted, man. And the whole name is tainted, the company's tainted, everybody involved in the company's tainted.
I think a great parallel, even though I think they're obviously vastly different, maybe in size and scope and stuff, but Activision Blizzard, right? Activision Blizzard went through this shit, specifically the allegations, like the SA stuff. And it's not like they haven't stopped making games, right? It's not like they've stopped publishing games. Like, they're still going strong. People still know it's left a bad taste in people's mouths, but it's not like people have stopped playing COD. So they're still gonna have a following. It's still gonna be
Right.
there, but like you
Yeah,
said, like it's gonna be hanging over them. It's gonna be hanging over them. It's gonna be a cloud,
yeah,
and
but
they're gonna be like not maybe a laughing stock, but an example for sure. They're gonna be an
For sure.
example for other YouTube businesses of the same kind, right? Of the same ilk.
I mean, you can
yeah, but
imagine.
go ahead.
Yeah, you can imagine like they're already an example. You know what I'm saying? Like the
Yeah.
next day, companies are already revamping, breaking
Yep.
down, inspecting, investigating their internal fucking shit because we don't want to be Linus.
Yep.
I can hear this in a boardroom. Like, you got the CEO and the CFO and the COO and all these people, and it's like, make sure our shit is fucking tight because we're not going down like that. You know what I mean? This was a media, I'm sure.
It's funny you say that, and I kind of had an epiphany. Like you kind of wonder why did Linus step down? Like you might yeah, right? Like did he step down because he kind of knew something, or he
You think he
expected
forecasted
something to
this?
come out?
You think
Huh?
he had a foresight to actually think that this is going down sooner or later?
Maybe. I mean, maybe,
I
maybe.
mean, I don't know. I don't know if there's a difference between foresight and like uh direct knowledge. You know what I'm saying? Like I feel
I
like
don't know if
foresight's a little
it's just kind of interesting that this stuff is happening now. All of a sudden on the heels of him stepping down. It's like all of a sudden kind of like, oh, he can kind of wash his hands from the situation. Even though obviously he has taken accountability. He has taken accountability, and he has said, you know, the CEO is not necessarily in the role of CEO yet, right? Like he's not settled into the position yet. But still, it's just kind of interesting to me that like, oh wait, you know, all this stuff is happening now while Linus has stepped down. Kind of little sus, just a tiny bit sus.
How long ago did he step down?
About a
I
month
want to
ago,
say 2 months,
2 months.
like yeah, a month, 2 months, something like that.
What's the chances
Really
that the
not that
culture?
long.
What's the chances that the culture changed in those 2 months? That it wasn't like this before.
They were still rolling out
Oh
videos with a
no,
lot of
it's
issues. So
I I no. I bet the culture has been like that since the maybe not the very beginning, but I bet the culture has been like that.
and the
You know,
entire Billet
has
Labs thing, I think, happened. The entire auction thing actually happened after the transition to the new CEO. Like that's the thing with that. You
mm,
put a prototype block for auction on display without even anyone from LMG pointing out, hey, that shouldn't be there.
Yeah, they
I'm
were.
trying to
Yeah,
see when did he step down?
Like it was beside the was it the a collaboration for CPU? The cyberpunk theme CPU
2 months ago. 2 months ago
two
he
months
stepped
ago.
down.
It was pretty much in the open. Everyone sees it. Like not a single person from LMG actually pointed out that that block shouldn't have been part of the auction. Like even question why is it there? Not a
so
single one.
who is this Madison person?
She was
She
social media
appeared on an
manager before.
episode on a live stream. They did a PC build with her. I can't what exactly is the segment she was involved in?
It's
She was like she
for
won some.
Asus. It's for
Okay,
Asus
yeah,
on
yeah.
PC.
She won a PC essentially, and she went over there to build it with them. But she was like beloved by the community, and Linus and her kind of had a really good rapport.
Chemistry.
They had great
Mm.
chemistry. Um, and people just loved her. Like the community loved her. So you know, and she was also, I think, if I'm you know correct in this, she was also live streaming too. Like she's relatively maybe not, you know, she's big or whatever. I don't know. She's got a good community herself. So um yeah, she took on the role of social media what manager or whatever the fuck, I don't know, social media creator for them. And
Oh,
yeah, I mean, and it's weird to me that like, you know, why I just don't understand, at least from what she's saying. You know, again, it's still allegations. We some have been
yeah.
corroborated, but um like how they approached her hiring, like the fact that she had a whole new contract set in front of her when she showed up. That to me just, I don't know, like I don't know. I really want to believe her, but at the same time it just sounds far-fetched to me. You know, I don't know.
Well, some of the things here, I'm reading this article in The Verge. Some of the things that she said was said to her. It does sound like high
He had a
school.
very long-winded Twitter thread,
Oh,
X
really?
thread, whatever you call
Yeah.
Like it still surprises me. This is a big company that never actually thought of hiring a PR manager right from the jump.
it. Are you sure they don't have a PR
They don't
manager?
have one. If they have, he's doing a shitty job.
Well, there ain't
Well, it
really
was
much
funny.
PR can do with this.
Did you see yeah. Did you did you see that Dexerto was like, you know, they I don't know, they released something, some article,
Like
and
it seems
essentially said, you know, we've reached out for comment but haven't heard from them. And Linus
it
like
seems
replied to
Linus is
them
pretty much aware that
like,
it would be just the Xerto that's actually going to be covering them.
oh,
Like,
it's just funny to me that like, how do you guys not even like, are you guys not checking that email? Like Dexerto like sent an email somewhere, you know,
yeah,
who's like, come on, you guys are still dropping the ball. Like, you know what I mean? It's just like, God, it's just like at every turn, literally at every turn, they've just messed up. And it's just they keep digging themselves a hole.
you would think the CEO stepping down would fix this. He just
No, no, I think systematic change. I mean, I really don't think there is. Like, you'd have to fire like a ton of people. I feel like. I mean, you'd have to get rid of all the bad actors. You know, what happened in Activision kind of similarly. Like, a lot of people were fired, but it's like the company's so big that it kind of didn't matter, right? Whereas Linus, it's not like they have a huge company. They have a decent sized company, but if they fire a
Yeah,
lot
and
of
if
these people, the company's going to be completely different.
and the
Mm.
difference between Activision is you don't see the CEO where you're playing the game. So
Well,
it wouldn't
that's the other
matter
thing. What's
that
this, the
much.
Bobby Kotick? You think Bobby Kotick's going to take responsibility for fuck all? No, like,
But
get
when
the
it
fuck
comes
out
to
of here.
but when it comes to the product, it's not Bobby Kotick that's the end product that people are actually buying. It might
No,
still
no,
be
but still, you
that
don't think that Bobby Kotick knew or was involved with these allegations that were put forward? Like, of course
I
he
mean,
was.
regarding reception for the sales and such for the product, I wouldn't think it would affect them that much. For this one, Linus is pretty much the product.
Yeah, I
If
mean,
you think about
yeah,
it,
you have a valid point. Valid point there. Yeah, I think that the difference with the Activision thing is Bobby Kotick is more of an investor facing person, right? Like,
yeah.
the investors rely on Bobby Kotick because they know that he essentially is controlling the money and controlling the machine, right? The machine
So you
keeps
might
their
have
pocket, keeps lining their pockets, essentially,
yeah, so
right?
you might have
Whereas,
harsh opinions on the guy, but if the games are actually pretty good, the consumers can
are
pretty
they?
much if when I
That's a
said
different topic.
there's a hard if they are good, the consumers can
Oh, I
pretty
see.
much ignore the CEO. But for
I
Yeah,
mean,
yeah,
the side of things, he like I said, he's pretty much the product here.
yeah. You're
yeah,
right. You're absolutely right.
Tuning
No, you're
into
absolutely. I mean, it's
Linus
fucking his name.
content
Like,
for
it's literally a name.
Linus.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. But it's not like that's the. I'm trying to think of like a. There's got to be some example before, but it's not like this is the first time something like this has happened where literally the namesake of a brand has faltered, and the brand itself has kept going without that person. I
yeah.
guarantee you there's been examples. What's that?
No, you're right. What you're saying is right. Yeah, there's definitely
I
been.
mean, I mean, go ahead, go ahead.
I'm no, you're good. I'm trying to think of an example because I know there is. There's got to
There's
be
got to be.
probably 100 of them.
I
I'm
mean,
sure.
off the top of my head, though, it's vastly different. I mean, Apple, right? I mean, Steve Jobs was Apple, right? Like, he
Hmm.
was the brand, he was the face of that, and Apple's still going strong despite his death, right? Despite his passing,
Right. Well, I mean,
untimely passing.
one of
I know it's very different, but
yeah, but I do this every time. I know, but I mean, if you want to talk about
Here we go.
someone being the no someone being the product, right?
Yeah.
Like someone, uh, Tesla stock fluctuates with every Elon tweet.
hmm,
Yeah, that's a
You know
good
what I'm saying?
example, actually.
interesting.
So, and then this guy, he's the face. Great products, minus if even if Elon was a step down, like Tesla would still, you know what I'm saying? If he wasn't the face of the company, I don't know if he could ever not be. It's so synonymous. But you know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
but
Oh yeah.
it's not like the Musk company.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? This guy here, Linus, he's fucked, man. Like he should have stole some cool name like Tesla. You know what I'm saying?
I think a lot of people in the Reddit have said it best. Like, Linus let his ego essentially take control,
Mm,
which which is kind of part and parcel for like this type of world, right? You're on
right.
camera, you have all this fame, all this money. Like, I'm not trying to defend him, but it is this it's inevitable, right?
Well,
It's just inevitable.
it's a very human thing that happens to people.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah. And
especially,
and
Yeah.
and and he's in a particular position where he built a pretty solid brands that he my point is he kind of has a reason to have that ego, right? I mean,
yeah. Well, it's not unfounded. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
Like,
Mhm.
Yeah, and that's the reason why he's actually effective on camera. Like I said the
Yep.
last time, insanity photographs.
And yeah, yeah. No, he's an asshole. He's a douchebag. I can say that, but he's still a funny guy. He's still engaging. He's still engaging, and that's what makes his content good. I think I was talking about this last time, but I watched Linus a lot, like maybe 2 years ago, um, maybe 3 years ago, and I kind of started like stopping. I explained to Christian that I particularly like his live streams more when he builds PCs because that's like his environment, man. Like you
Mm.
can tell he's so passionate about it and like loves building PCs. And it's just like awesome watching him in his like zone, right? Like those are like for me personally are the best moments on the
It's
Linus
like a
channel, like
it's like a
when he's
cooking
building
show, right?
PCs. Yeah, yeah,
Like
yeah.
a majority of the
Literally,
entertainment
let
is
him
actually
cook.
not the end
Well, I
product.
mean, do you become uber? I'm not going to say famous, successful without having that aggressive side. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean,
It
you can't be a.
depends.
I mean, you can't be a
Yeah, yeah. I was gonna
pushover.
say it depends too. It depends
It
on the
depends on
person.
the
Yeah.
environment you put yourself in. If you surround yourself with people that will be feeding it, like sycophants, you'd most probably end
Yeah,
that way
this is
because you need
this is
someone to
something we
push
brought
back on
up.
you.
This is something we brought up last episode. How Linus has systematically surrounded himself with yes men.
Well, yeah,
You,
that
you
too. Yeah,
need someone to balance you out. Like
yeah.
he's
But I mean, how do you?
And
basically
How?
which is also kind of humbling in the fact that he even noticed it, right? And said, I need to step down. I need someone, I need, you know, I need someone on top of me. That's what she said. But like, you know what I mean? Like it kind of, I mean, at least he recognized that, right? I mean, unless it's a grand conspiracy that he knew some shit was coming up.
Well, I think the dude was in a great place, and now he's hit a fucking. I don't know if it's a speed bump or a roadblock, but he's definitely got something in his way.
Oh
And
man, it's not even they have hit a cinder block going 150 miles per hour. Like it's not even like
flat
this
tires, the
isn't a
whole night.
road bump.
Yeah,
This isn't a road bump. It's not
yeah,
you know the initial video from Gamers Nexus was the road bump. But
right.
now they've lost track of the road.
Yeah, the
You
wheel
know, they're
are okay.
screwed.
So
I don't know if they're screwed.
are the metaphorical wheels falling off of this company?
I don't know if they've fallen off, but they're losing their traction, we'll say, right? I don't know if they've fallen off because again, like I think even without Linus, it could be a good brand. I think even
Yeah,
without Linus, it could be a good brand. But it all depends on how they take the how who's in control, what kind of content they make after, all of this shit. It's just I don't know, man. It's just like, do they take like a month off? Do they take a month off and then Linus steps down? Do they like pivot and make different kind of content? Like I don't.
I think it would be hard
If
for
you were in
them.
his shoes, what would you do?
It
If
would be
you were
hard for
in
them. It would really be
both
hard.
either of you, if you were either in Terran, the CEO, not even Linus, but Terran, what would you do?
At this moment, I think
oh,
the best way they could have done is what they plan to do now. Just step away for a bit, producing videos, and come back with something that's really good that will grab people's attention, like something that's so evident that they've actually made some changes. Like people can
yeah,
actually
but
say that, hey, Linus LMG group is back. Like
what would I
things have
do
been acted on.
if I was the CEO? I would just get the fuck out of there. Yeah, like that's what I would do. Like it's not my company. My name's not on the fucking wall. You know what I'm saying? Cut ties, get the fuck out of there, try to find something else. Throw that shit on his ass. Be like, bro, I don't know. I was there for 2 months and this shit came out
I
like,
mean, I must say, I cannot imagine being Terran right now. Could you
oh
fucking?
god, dude.
I'd be furious. This will hang. I mean, obviously, I think obviously people will understand. Like he came into the
Mm,
company like now. It's not like he fucking knew anything, but or maybe he
right.
did. Who fucking knows? But yeah, I'd be furious with Linus, man. Like
Yeah. Imagine
I'm
this roller
telling you,
coaster.
there's no way that Linus didn't know about at least subtly or somewhat. Like there's no way that Linus didn't know about the workplace culture that was going on. There's just no way. I don't believe that.
okay, that kind of leads into maybe an ignorance on, like you said, like we talk about sometimes, how people get in like a bubble. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
and yeah, aware of the culture, sure. Was he
Yeah.
aware enough to realize that it was,
Where did
how it was affecting other people? Like, it could be like I don't want to go back to it, but like in the military, man, you get told all the time, dumbass or whatever, you know what I'm saying? And it
Yeah.
does fuck people's mental health, but it's the culture.
But that's how it's supposed to be, right? That's
I
literally. I mean, you're
highly
supposed to be a
doubt
hardened fucking soldier.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
highly doubt that CEO actually doesn't know the culture because he was actually part of Linus Sebastian's roast. Like he pretty much knows uh, how people
But he wasn't a
actually
part of the
interact.
company, though.
He wasn't, but he was actually that's the thing.
Yeah,
He
but
was actually
I
part.
don't.
He was
He
able
wasn't a
to
part of the
interact
company.
with the he was actually able to interact with the people involved in the company without them having the pretense that he was actually their boss. So he was actually entrenched in them being their natural selves. Like I pretty much can see him actually knowing people, their personalities at face value, rather than them putting on airs just because he's their boss.
I hear you. I hear you.
So he's pretty
Interesting.
much aware of this environment right now. I
But yeah, I mean,
don't think he knows that there's an issue regarding the environment.
that's
That's
my point right there. That's my point.
Well,
They
the
knew
CEO.
they
yeah.
knew they knew the environment. They weren't aware enough to realize that it was so problematic.
Mm,
Right? It's like, oh, that's
I don't know.
oh, it's a joke. It's a joke.
On
I
Linus's
tell I
part,
tell
I do not
everybody
believe that.
I talk to everybody like that. People have these delusions where it's like, because
Mm,
9 out of 10 people don't say some shit, then it's not wrong.
yeah,
You know what I'm saying? I joke with
I hear
everybody
you.
like that.
I,
You know,
I, s- I, s- I don't know. I'm of the mind that Linus knew exactly what kind of company he was leading, right? Like, I mean, maybe you're right. Maybe he just kind of accepted the fact that, like, I don't know. I don't know. I it's hard for me to accept that Linus didn't know that it was like not right how his company and how his employees were treating each other. It just it's just hard for me
Yeah.
because especially for the fact that Madison said, and again, allegations, we don't know, we don't know, but
hmm,
she said that she brought it up to multiple people.
hmm.
She must have brought it up to Linus. And if she's not the only one that's experienced this, as she says, you don't think that other people have brought this up to Linus before? Like,
Right,
come on.
right. It
My
sounds like, I
my
mean,
personal opinion is Linus knew exactly what was going on, didn't give a shit because he's an
yeah.
Yeah, and that's
asshole.
basically the hardest part of being a dick, being a part of your brand. That's
Yeah.
basically it.
I
Like
mean, you
they,
can
they
have
were so known for being a dick on camera and in their contents having these kinds of shenanigans. Like they made it a part of their brand that they actually normalized it. I feel they kind of normalized it within their
I mean,
environment.
did you see the video where he talked on the phone with like some customer service? This is like just this some this is on in a video, a recent video maybe. I don't know. They were doing some update to his house. And I mean, he got on the phone with customer service and like just the way he treated customer service was awful. Um and I mean, it says a lot, I feel like, to the type of person he is. I don't know. I don't
And
say. It's
again,
just like
we're gonna be checking out if D brand will still be sponsoring them. Or if they will ever offer again. The weirdest part to me regarding that video, corporate one, I kind of appreciate Gary. Is Gary from their labs actually speaking out on the changes that they want? That's how you do it, not with Linus's first response. Because I felt that everything went down the rails after Linus post on their forums on how stuck up and arrogant he was.
the first apology.
The first apology, that one actually was addressed properly. I don't think it would turn out this way. It might, but not to this extent. Like there should be a much better way to have done it. Even he was actually he actually admitted that he did the wrong thing with that apology. What I was actually
Yeah.
surprised with their follow-up video was actually Yvonne. Like it felt like she was, I don't know if she actually agreed with that script, but she kind of sounded insensitive in that video. Especially she was the last one on camera,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. Well, she's Moneybags, right? She's the CFO. So
Regardless regardless if she's Moneybag, she's also Linus's wife. She
no,
should be
absolutely.
the voice of reason for
Absolutely.
them.
But I don't know. You don't think she's trying to protect her position as well?
What position are we talking about here?
Well, her position as the chief financial officer,
Is
and
that is that every wife's role in a relationship ever? If you think about it, a
I
CFO.
mean, yeah, I didn't. I mean, I don't know. I don't know.
I mean, in an official capacity where she actually knows the business and how it's actually being run. If you're a CFO, like certain aspects of it that are going to be financially debilitating for you, like a huge PR mess like this could actually really hurt them. Like I said, 6,000 subscribers on Floatplane actually amounts to $300,000 a year for them. You wouldn't actually think, hey, honey, please tone down a bit on the sexist remarks and being an asshole on camera so it wouldn't hurt the bottom line for everyone. Even at home, you could do that.
Yeah, it's just again, I don't know, man. I'm of the mind that Linus doesn't give a flying fuck. You know,
Like
wife or
everyone
not, he's not.
actually,
He doesn't give a shit.
every one of us actually wanted at least fantasize to be able to do the kind of things that he does, like not giving a fuck with everything. But when you have a bottom line to think of and a couple of employees under you to actually consider and a major brand with your name, I don't think you have that luxury anymore, considering that you also hired a CEO to actually deal with things. Because this CEO move, usually people hire CEOs if they have something bigger in the horizon, like a further expansion. Linus Media Group may just be a start for him. Like there are other avenues that he could actually delve on, like certain partnership with brands for specific projects. That's why he wanted to step down. So if you consider things, like I said, this could hurt them. So that's why I'm asking what type of recompense could they make to actually make things right? And everyone's asking for recompense, but yet no
I
one has been specific for what
I
they
really
want.
don't think there is like a
Yeah,
form of that. I really
it's
don't
like
think.
it's
I
like
mean, again, I think the best route would be Linus step out of the company, and that's. I don't think I don't see him doing that. I don't see him doing that.
I mean, there ain't nothing to do. Like it, yeah, he has to go, but that's not enough. It's still going to be like the whole time thing, and then like to the point Christian made earlier, like they'll have to come back and they'll have to do it in a way that kind of makes people forget. You know what I mean? Like come back with just an incredible, I don't know, content or fucking a huge donation to like fucking anti-bullying or something. I don't know. Like they gotta fucking do something.
Yeah, the thing about that
Hmm.
anti-bullying thing, like it wouldn't be self-evident to people that changes have been made, right? Even if
I
they
mean, how
did it.
can you though? How
Yeah,
can you? Unless you vlog from the office every day, how can you prove to anybody that your culture is better? So you
you
can't. You wait
can. I
10
mean, you
years
can
and then
again. You
Well,
can you can release
that's
another
just basically
video and say,
patronizing if you did that.
yeah, like there's really nothing they can do. He has to remove himself because it's his thing. He unfortunately is the face. Unfortunate for him, he's and Yvonne or whatever the fuck her name is. They as a pair
and
have to go.
that's
She's
the
still
other thing. Does
surprised.
she have to step down too?
Yeah, 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 for sure. They all do. That whole group up there has to go.
I
I
mean,
would
yeah,
I would go as
I agree
far
with you. I
I
agree
would
with you.
go
It's
as
just
far as
like
all the way down to the HR manager. Fucking out of here.
I still feel that Billet Labs thing is a heads rolling type of situation.
Oh, there's gonna be a lot of heads rolling. But I mean, Are they
I'm
a public
surprised they
company?
haven't.
Are they a private
I'm
company?
genuinely surprised they haven't headed up a lawsuit. I mean,
Right.
they seem like, again, I have no idea. All I know about them is from text in Reddit posts, but they seem like really awesome and really awesome company, really awesome individuals. Um, I mean, hell, Linus, they auctioned off one of their prototypes which could have been, stolen by a rival company. It wasn't, but it could have been, and they were still relatively, they were pissed, but they were relatively chill about stuff, right? They weren't like, I don't know. It's
Did
just really
they
fun. I feel
actually
for them.
found out who bought that prototype?
I don't know if they found the person yet. Maybe, probably, but I mean, it doesn't matter because they released some post or something saying they don't even want the prototype back anymore because
Yeah.
A, they don't know how it's going to be condition wise. B, they've already sent money in. They've already paid money to make another one.
Yeah.
C, it's like, I don't know. There were other reasons. They listed off like 6 or 7 different reasons. And a lot of people in Reddit, a lot of people in posts and Reddit were saying like Linus should give that back and pay the money back, right? Like they should get that prototype back to Billet and still give that, whatever it was, 2,000 euros or pounds, whatever it was. Right? I mean, like fuck, like
Did they even
do
keep
something
a
right
record?
once.
Did they even
Do
keep a
something
record
right
of
for
that
once.
auction?
What?
Like, did they even keep a record regarding the auction? Who it's sold to?
Well, did you see that they were like emailing people from the auction, like, "Hey, did you buy the?" No, so no.
I figured, like in the video with Colton, I think he mentioned that they don't have any records regarding
No.
who it's sold to.
There's literally they were emailing people that had, purchased stuff at the auction, various people, because they had no idea who had the whatever, the block.
That's a stupid auction to have, not knowing who you sold it
It's
to.
like sad. It's like really sad, I mean, again, I feel for Billet Labs. I feel for Madison. Like, God, can you imagine? Like that was her dream job. At least it seemed so excited and happy, and it's, pretty awesome gig, for her to realize that it's a nightmare. Right? She gets there and it's a fucking nightmare. Could you imagine? Like, Jesus, that sucks. I don't know. Sucks for everyone around. I mean, even sucks for the people that are still working there. Because what do they do now? Do they
Yeah.
do they work on their resumes? Like I would be. I feel like I'd be I'd be getting my resume ready, right?
For sure.
And
Or
someone actually commented it on her saying that why didn't she actually come out at that time and actually sued LMG? Like, we're talking about suing a big company here. Do you think she has funding to actually
I mean,
put the bill
yeah, the
for the
funding
lawyers?
part. There's the rabid fan base that would eat her apart, which are eating her apart as we speak right now. Still, even though some of her stuff has been corroborated, some of her allegations have been corroborated.
Yeah.
There's a ton of reasons. I mean, even what Colton, the guy who quit, the ex employee, one of the things he said, beyond just corroborating what she said or some of what
It's
she said, he
Colin. Colin
yeah,
is actually.
Colin, right?
Oh.
He one of the last things he said in his post corroborating what she said was it takes some cojones to do what she did. And he's right. I mean, as far as we know, no one else has come forward, but there could be several other people with issues, and they have yet to say anything. Which, says a lot. The fact that Madison was able to do that, get up there, and she might, it might help in her case because she is like a live streamer and she's kind of used to being in the limelight somewhat, right? But that still takes a lot of courage to do what she did. I mean, especially for her, like just some random girl going up against LMG like this. Like it's a big deal. It's a big deal.
And I
Especially if
know, yeah, I know Emily doesn't want to speak about things internally, but this actually her uh coming up with smoke like this really heavily legitimizes Madison's claim actually that
what's that?
Emily's tweet actually heavily legitimizes Madison's claims, even though she
Yeah.
said doesn't want any smoke with LMG
Yeah.
while this is going on. So we're gonna have to see over the next couple of days on how much the statement actually would impact the current situation. Because I don't think this would die down anytime soon until the next uh Linus Tech Tips videos come out.
Which it's good. Who
Yeah,
knows when
people are
that'll
still gonna
be?
be talking about this.
You have to wonder too. There's got to be videos still stuck in the pipeline that they just
Mm.
like put on hold essentially. Like, what are they doing right now? That's my question. It's like, do you go to work? You go to work. You're not making videos. What are you doing? So it
Damage
baffles
control.
me. What?
Damage control to the best of their ability. They're calling in consultants. They've already got the investigator or whatever, non-part by part, whatever it is, non
Third party.
external, or I don't know, third party, yeah. So they're scrambling right now. I know that it's their business model is for the videos and stuff, but at this point it's like fucking everybody's bailing water right now. Like nobody's doing anything else.
Yeah.
They're going to be
Sucks.
hurting on multiple fronts here because it's not just about videos. They also have merchandising and they also have investments in other products like laptops and framework.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
sucks to be you, bro. Like, yeah, get your shit
It
straight, man.
does. It does.
I mean, the good thing for him is though he's fucking what 30, mid-30s.
I think he's like, yeah, like 36.
It's not over for him.
It's not.
It'll be a rough patch. It's going to be difficult. The diehard fans will still be there, and let's keep pushing, man. Like you'll be all right. You're in Canada, bro. Like you get forgiven for fucking everything up there. You know what I mean? Like start. I don't know. Start selling fucking maple syrup.
Being Canadian has its perks, right?
It does. Move to California and become a liberal, and then you're innocent of all charges.
Like imagine if this thing actually happened to a US company. The amount of pitchforks would actually be raised up in the air,
Mm.
especially with assault allegations. This would be a circus. Anyway, I wanted to
Bad.
talk about to move on another thing because the three of us haven't been podcasting for the past couple of weeks, but right now Chris is here. What are your takes regarding Twitter rebranding to X?
This is the first step, I think, in something that Elon Musk has wanted to do for a long time. He's talked about the X app forever. It's not the X, it's the Everything app, I think. I think this
Everything
is just
app.
the Everything app. I think this is
Yeah.
just kind of and also it's a rebranding. I think it's probably good because in some circles Twitter has a negative connotation. Just the name Twitter.
I
Just
never looked at it
saying
like that.
Hmm.
Personally, I think it's dumb as fuck because I mean, Twitter has had a long-lasting name.
Yeah, more than a
I mean,
decade.
people are jumping ship.
Branding.
Not that that really matters.
Hmm.
And obviously, my one sole concern is Twitter X, whatever the fuck, turning into a echo chamber.
Hmm.
Because that is detrimental to any platform. That is my biggest concern, and that seems kind of the route that's happening. Especially with just how the technical side of things have been. I mean, today, Elon Musk announced that they're going to get rid of the block button. That had people up in arms. Now, I don't think I've ever blocked anyone on Twitter. Uh,
Hmm.
but I know a lot of people are pretty pissed about that. Which again, like rightfully so, right? People don't want every form of content spat at them, right? So yeah, I don't know. I think the rebrand was kind of dumb, but I do think that Elon Musk's everything concept is interesting. I think there were parallels drawn to a Chinese or Japanese company that kind of did something similar. I can't think of the name of it. I can't think of the the type of company it was, but what's
Rakuten.
up? Maybe. It started off as something similar to Twitter, and then kind of expanded into like Uber, other things like
Line. I know they
marketplace.
yeah, they have a thing in Japan. Like they use Line a lot. They use Rakuten's a big company over there, tech company, and yeah, they have an app where like literally everything is on there. Like from you can send money, you can send packages, you can order food.
And that's the funny thing to me is like the everything app already exists, I guess, right?
For the most part, yeah. But you know, it's very American, I guess, to want excess, you know. You don't want one app with everything. You want 100 different apps.
Well, me personally, I'd actually like consolidation. Not a lot of it, but I you know, I don't know.
But I mean,
So long as the direction is right, and so long as the application fucking works, you know. Yeah, I mean, I think there are a ton of other issues that Twitter could be could be amending, like maybe video playback could be a whole lot better.
Yeah, my shit don't work half the time.
Protection, maybe like data privacy. I mean, I could go on and on. Like there are other things that you could be focusing on with X, whatever, Twitter. Other than making it the everything app. That's just my personal take, you know, like.
Well, I like the rebrand.
But again, he bought it. He bought it. It's his, right? Not mine.
I personally like the rebrand, even just from an aesthetic point.
I disagree. I think it looks stupid as fuck.
I like it.
I think it looks dumb as fuck. And
it is. I can kind of relate to, or not relate.
I mean, are you calling it X? Are you like saying, "Oh, I'm gonna post on X today," or whatever? I don't know what do you even call it.
I don't even talk to.
What do you call what do you call a post on X now?
I don't really be talking to nobody about it. I mean, it's still Twitter. It's still Twitter, right?
That's why.
That's the thing.
That's my point. Probably, it's like what? Okay, so you rebranded, but it's not like it's not like it changed anything, right? I mean, I don't know, right?
Like we've been talking about whether HBO Max has had the worst rebrand in history. I think this takes the cake. Like,
because I mean,
that's a good parallel.
Like Twitter has already been part of the lexicon. Like everyone mentions tweeting and tweets. When you mention tweeting, it's not even about birds anymore.
I think the Twitter rebrand is a lot worse, or a lot whatever, like bigger, because it involves so many more people. Whereas, you know, it's not like everyone was subscribed to HBO Max. You know, like then again, not everyone was on Twitter either, but I guarantee you there were a ton more people on Twitter than there were HBO Max. Is my point.
I mean, most companies. Think about it, most companies, right? Most
organizations. If you think about it,
what
the sweeping changes that they wanted for X, couldn't they have just applied it by just keeping the Twitter name and just applying it? Like, is the rebrand really that necessary to make these changes that they wanted?
I
mean, for me personally, I don't know. I mean, again, it's like it's Elon's vision. It's his company. It's really not up to us to say.
Well, I think also Elon hasn't shown a very wide range of creativity when it comes to naming companies, right? Fucking SpaceX, you know what I'm saying?
Jesus Christ, ever since PayPal,
you're joking, right? You gotta be joking, right?
No, I'm saying, no, that's what I'm saying. He has not shown.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, no, like it's very generic. You know?
I see.
You know, and the one decent name that he has, you know, he stole from Nikola Tesla. I ain't steal it, but I don't know. Maybe
even that.
Maybe it's an homage.
I don't even know. That's a good name. It is a good name.
I think it's probably the best name you could have for an electric vehicle. Like, why not?
Like, I think he's just so hell-bent on using X. That's it. Remember XCOM? His payment scheme, which he actually failed, was pushed out of, and was suddenly turned into PayPal after he left.
But I mean, that's the beauty, right? Like I can imagine for myself, right? My favorite color is blue. I can imagine if I had a company, like everything in there would be blue. I just know it because that's what I like. You know what I'm saying? Like that's what
Interesting.
calms me. That's what makes me comfortable. Like
Yeah.
I just like the color blue. And like I've had this problem ever since I was a kid. Like I go shopping for clothes or something, and I get home and I realize like, God damn, everything I bought is fucking some shade of blue. Like I did not do this intentionally. You know what I'm saying? So like, and that's one of the beautiful things about being a fucking billionaire is name your company whatever the fuck you want to name it, bro.
Yeah, that's kind of like where I'm at too. It's like, I'm not a fan of it. And
Right.
I don't think, I don't know. But again, it's not really up for me to say.
I
Have
mean,
they made many sweeping changes over the course of the rebrand? I'm not
Oh
actually.
yeah.
They did.
Oh yeah. They have. I mean, reinstated bad actors. They've added, what is it, AdSense essentially, like same thing as YouTube has, right?
yeah,
Which is pretty cool. I mean, that's honestly it's pretty admirable. People are like, oh, Elon shills get their, they get the suck on his titty, essentially, right? Like, okay, whatever.
Yeah,
You
that's why.
At least
That's
people have
why.
avenues to make money. Like, fuck you. Like, you're like, fuck all that. I can understand where people are like, distasteful with Elon and stuff, but you don't have to be an asshole to other people about it, right? Like, people are gonna make
right,
money, let them make fucking money. I
yeah.
think it's a good avenue for content creators and people who want to make money on Twitter. Like, whatever, like, let them do them. I mean, I'm trying to think
Yeah,
of some
that's
other
why I
features.
said couldn't have they have just made those sweeping changes while still retaining the Twitter brand
I don't.
because
I think. I
Oh
honestly.
yeah,
I think Elon did not like the blue Twitter bird aesthetic. I think that's exactly what it was. And he's like,
that's just it.
this
A
is
but I
fucking
new
do
gay.
I like what you said earlier, Chris, of the fact that, like, it had a bad image or bad,
Mm.
you know, I kind of understand where you're coming from there, and I didn't actually consider that, but even so, no matter what, it's still a dumb change. We can all agree it's a dumb
yeah.
Right.
change.
And with
Well,
it
yeah.
would
Because
also
it's just
take
such a long the company's been around for so long. I mean,
Mm.
I open my phone and I scroll around and I have to look for Twitter because I'm like, oh fuck, like it's all, it looks like
and
a goddamn
marketing
bank app
wise.
now.
Yeah, and marketing wise, you would have to think it would take an entire new generation for this thing to actually catch on being called X.
Mm, yeah, you're right. I
I mean,
mean,
I don't think I'll ever call it X.
yeah. But
I don't think it'll ever. I mean, for me, I
the
don't. I
one,
mean, it's just like second nature to call it Twitter.
the one change that I hate that affects me directly is they put TweetDeck behind a paywall.
Really?
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's not even
I forgot
available.
about that.
That's
Forgot about that.
insane to me.
Yeah, which is a whole other can of worms because why is it called TweetDeck still?
Yeah, I mean, yeah,
Because
because
it does sound like a porn hub.
yeah, if you say yeah, if you type it in, I don't
X
even want
deck
to type in X deck.
X deck.
and to I think Chris, you had mentioned this before, and I literally just opened Twitter now to check. It's still twitter.com.
Oh, is it?
Well,
You
yeah,
cannot
they can't
like,
change. I mean, I guess
change the
they probably could
URL.
change that. Actually, they might be able to change that. I'm not.
They should.
I'm
I
not
mean,
100% sure about that.
that's
But
crazy.
yeah, I mean, it's still twitter.com.
I
Yeah,
mean,
they're not gonna have a good time with this.
it's kind of like it's like the venom of uh social media platforms, right? Like this is the evil Twitter kind of. You know what I mean? Like the bad dancing, the whole nine yards. It's just like the evil twin or the split personality kind of taking over.
Yeah, I still feel that this change was actually unnecessary. Like in a marketing sense, I'm seeing things like that bird is actually worth billions when it comes to marketing and branding. It was actually spent on, then all of a sudden changing it to something so generic that even Indonesia banned you because they thought you were a porn site.
I feel like he from a you talk about the marketing, but I feel like this is a long game change. You know what I'm saying? Like I said earlier, because you know some
Oh,
people
for sure.
you just
For
say
sure.
Twitter and people are like, I don't fuck with Twitter. Twitter censors you, or or you even from both sides, right? It's like, oh, Twitter this, Twitter that, Twitter this, Twitter's a toxic. Dave Chappelle said that he got in one of his stand-up, I don't remember which special it was, but he was like, they drug me on Twitter, but I don't care because Twitter's not a real place. That's true and not true at the same time, because we've moved into this era of society where not every place is tangible. You know what I'm saying? It's like the metaverse, right? That's, even though it's not where it should be, it's not a tangible place really, but it's still a fucking place. You can go there, you can do things there.
Yeah.
So Twitter being like, it's like, I don't know, it's kind of like if somebody was trying to rebrand hell, you know what I'm saying? Like, first thing you do, change the logo, change the name. Same shitty place, but at least now you've removed the audio and the visual aspect of it, right? The physical aspect of it being a shitty place is not going to change.
I mean, it's doesn't change its place.
No, it doesn't. But it does help with the human mind.
There is also an aspect with regards to
Maybe I don't
people's
know,
lives
a
have
little bit.
been
Like I said, the
people's
long
lives
game.
have been people's lives have been controlled mostly by marketing and optics. Like we might think that Twitter is not a real place, but companies,
It's definitely
people we work for actually see it as such. So it really affects people's lives. So I can understand the other
To
side of
Chris's
it.
point, I mean, similarly, right? Like when next year or 2025, whenever it comes out, right? There's going to be a whole generation of kids that their first Grand Theft Auto game will be GTA 6, right? Similarly, like in whatever it is, 5 years, whatever, like a whole generation of kids, they're not going to know what Twitter is. They're going to know what X is, though, right? So I see what Chris is coming from. Again,
it's going to be like
I don't know.
It's going to be like people that go on vacation to Vietnam now, whereas our grandparents, fucking no way they're going on vacation to Vietnam. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's we, and the younger generation, we can't really grasp just how much of a hellscape Vietnam was, and now you see, there's people backpacking there, and even the Vietnamese, they don't have any ill fucking feelings towards Americans. Like, try to go to the Middle East as a white man and see what happens. Your fucking history, bro. First 15 minutes, you're out of there.
Or South Korea. Or North Korea, sorry.
North Korea. Oh my God, bro. You might as well just. But yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's kind of that thing where it's like you said, like the next few generations.
You're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. But, and it's not like there aren't people jumping ship. I've seen, again, with the whole Twitter thing today with Elon saying he's going to cancel the block button or whatever the fuck. People are like, Blue Sky, blah, blah, blah. It's like, go to Blue Sky then. I don't understand. It's just, it's just like counterintuitive to tweet about going to Blue Sky, right?
Yeah,
or whatever the fuck, whatever it is. Yeah, just fuck off.
Yeah, it's like telling someone like,
listen, I'm not changing applications. I could care less. If you're gone, whatever, you're gone, right? I'm still going to use the app because it's just what I know, and I know I'll get the content that I want from it, right?
Right. It's like, like you said, like doing that shit is like telling somebody like, I'm ignoring you. Like, well, what the fuck? Then ignore me then.
The way I look at X, Twitter, whatever the fuck, it's a tool, right? It's a hammer. It's not like because the hammer's it's not like the hammer's handle all of a sudden changed. Like, I'm gonna not use the hammer, right? It's like, the hammer's handle changed. Like, I gotta use a screwdriver now. Like, no, it's this tool.
Still a hammer.
I'm still gonna use it. Plain and simple.
Yeah, it's a good analogy. Need some shit hammered? Yes.
Or you can use your fists.
Or you can use your fists.
Could do that. All right, well, I think that closes it. I mean, you guys got anything lasting words? In case the world
Yeah,
ends
thank
tomorrow,
you.
got anything to say?
Thanks to those who actually watched the first episode. We were actually surprised at the response we got. So if you still would like to continue seeing us, you can stay that by the views and watch us over the next couple of
And
episodes. Thank you very much.
like and subscribe. It helps us. Helps us. If you like us,
Yeah.
like and subscribe. It helps.
For sure. Even if you don't like us, like
too. Yeah.
say something in
Still,
the
still
comments.
say something. Yeah,
Tell us why you
feedback
don't
helps.
like us in the comments.
Yeah, don't just be a dickhead for no reason. Linus. Fucking let us know.
Linus, dickhead.
Yeah.
With that, I think we are going to bounce. But I hope you guys have a nice weekend and yeah, take care.
All right.
We will see you next week.
Have a good
Later.
one, guys.